What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk to you guys about how I travel as an accountant. As some of you may know, I'm an auditor. I work in New York City, and it's been a pleasure to be an auditor in the sense of traveling. So I've gotten to go to Florida, California, and where I'm at right now is Buenos Aires, Argentina. I travel about 3 to 4 weeks out of the year, mainly to California, but we have a client here in San Rafael and Buenos Aires, Argentina, which gives us the opportunity to come here. We do a couple of inventory observations and testing revenue and a bunch of other things that we have to do from here because it requires a lot of paperwork, and it's just better to be at the client. I'm very blessed to be here. This is an amazing place, a beautiful country. If you ever get the chance to come to Argentina, please do so. It has a very European vibe, like if you've been to France or Spain, and you see the architecture from there, it's basically almost very identical. So when I travel, I usually get asked a couple of questions like, who pays for your food, who pays for your hotels, who pays for your travel, and all of these other expenses. And in reality, the client is paying for everything. It's just we have to take it out of our own pockets in the beginning, and then we expense it at the end of the month, and then we get reimbursed. So for example, traveling, at my firm, we have a system that we send out an email. We say, hey, I need a flight to California from January 16th to January 20th, and that's it. We don't have to take out money from our credit cards. We don't have to pay for it, which makes things a lot easier, and you just have to do less expenses at the end of the month, which is cool too. But if you have a travel credit card and you want to get those like all those points, the mileage and all that stuff, then sometimes you want to pay for it because you benefit at the end of the day. For hotels, I usually book through hotels.com or orbitz.com, and I just select my dates, and the only limitation that you have there is just, don't get like a luxury suite or anything like that. You definitely have to look for what your firm allows you to get. We usually get like a queen size bed or king size bed, something very normal, so nothing too fancy basically. For food, we get a per diem. So usually what that means is you get like an allowance per day for food. So I think with my firm it's like $75, and that's more than enough in everywhere we go. Actually, here in Argentina, $75 goes a really long way. Unfortunately, the economy here is not that great, so the dollar is worth a lot more than it usually is. So if you want to spend, nothing on breakfast, because usually hotels have free breakfast, and then you have a cheap lunch, you still have so much money to spend over for dinner. Obviously, you want to abide by your firm's policies and all that stuff with the per diem. You want to find out how much that is, but at the end of the day, everything is being expensed and you're going to be reimbursed for it. If you do pass the limit of the per diem, obviously you're not going to get reimbursed for that stuff. So depending on what you want to do with your career, whether you want to be at a public accounting firm or you want to be in the private side, it's both fine. It depends on what you want to do, but I don't think a lot of private companies are traveling a lot. Maybe I might be wrong, but I know for public accounting, we usually travel everywhere. I don't know if maybe that's just my firm, but I know I have a lot of coworkers that they go to Colorado. Some of them go to, I know one of them went to Italy, another went to the UK. So there's a lot of places that you can go. California has a bunch of clients of ours. So a lot of our colleagues, they're always in California working. So that's one thing. It's an upside. if you've never been to California, that's a great time to go when you're working. You usually don't get too much time off, but there has to be like an hour, 2 or 3, or maybe if you go on a Sunday, sometimes you could get that day for yourself. You can go out and explore and try to make the best of it while you're there. Sometimes people have the wrong perception of when we travel. They think, oh wow, you're going somewhere nice and you're gonna get to hang out and all that stuff, but unfortunately sometimes you don't even leave the office. This has happened to me several times in California. It actually happens to me all the time here in Argentina. I've been coming here for 2 years now, and sometimes we work from 8 a.m. all the way to 9:30 p.m. And the crazy thing is here, they eat dinner at like 10:30, 11. I'm saying like no restaurants are open before that. You have to wait until 10:30 p.m. for a restaurant to open so that you can go eat. So think about this, you're working from 8 a.m. You're at the client already, so that means you're waking up super early. Then you're leaving at 9 p.m., 9:30. Then you have to wait about an hour to eat dinner. And then you're done with dinner usually by like 12 a.m. So you're working all day and you have no time to go out, enjoy the beautiful country you're in and all that stuff. So I don't want to paint like the greatest picture of saying you're gonna go out and you're gonna explore a lot. Sometimes you might have the time, which is great, and you know, you always take advantage of all those opportunities that you get. But sometimes we definitely work a lot, and like I said, imagine working from 8 a.m. and then leaving at 9 p.m. and then coming back to the hotel by 12 to do it all over again the next morning. Why am I an accountant? But all jokes aside, accounting is a great career, but it is super demanding. And if you want to get far in public accounting, I know you're gonna have to travel and you're gonna have to work a ton. So I know I mentioned this in my couple other videos, but you know, our weeks are not regular 40-hour weeks, 9 to 5. I told you guys before, I've been in the office at 8 a.m. and I've left late at night when I'm in the city. So imagine when I'm working here in the client, sometimes they have to kick us out. They're like, all right guys, it's time to go. We need to go to our families and all that stuff, and we're just trying to take advantage of all the time possible with the client because it makes things a lot easier. It's easier to get paperwork from your client when you're just right then and there. Just say, hey, I need the shipping documents for this revenue account or something like that. So with all of that said, I know this is a short video, but I'm gonna put in like my experience traveling in business class for this client. Honestly, I was mind blown. I was in American Airlines. I was a seat 3A. This thing has a bed. You'll see it, you'll see it. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for sticking around and hitting that like button. Please subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, anything, leave them down below. I usually answer everything. All right, peace.